How to force your brain to do hard things. You know what's funny? Doing hard things usually isn't physically hard. Opening the laptop isn't hard. Writing one sentence isn't hard. Doing one push-up isn't hard. Replying to one email isn't hard. So why does it feel impossible sometimes? Why does your brain suddenly act like every small task is life-threatening? Because your brain isn't designed to chase difficult things. It's designed to protect your comfort. That's why every time you try to improve your life, your brain whispers things like, do it later. You're too tired. You won't do it perfectly anyway. Maybe tomorrow will feel easier. And tomorrow comes. But the feeling stays the same. Not because you're lazy, not because you're weak, but because your brain got addicted to avoiding discomfort. And avoidance feels safe in the moment. That's the dangerous part. Scrolling feels easier, sleeping feels easier, watching other people succeed feels easier. But slowly, your unfinished goals start becoming emotional weight. You start feeling guilty while resting. You start overthinking simple tasks. You start doubting yourself over things you haven't even tried yet. And eventually, the task becomes bigger in your head than it actually is. That's why starting feels terrifying. Not because the task is impossible, but because your mind turned it into a monster. But here's something most people never realize. Your brain changes after action, not before it. People think motivation creates action, but most of the time, action creates motivation. Think about it. Nobody feels excited before every workout. Nobody wakes up magically motivated every day. Nobody enjoys the beginning. The beginning is awkward, messy, slow, uncomfortable. But once movement starts, your brain slowly stops resisting because motion creates momentum. That's why the 2-minute rule works so well. Instead of saying, I need to study for 5 hours, say, I'll study for 2 minutes. Instead of, I need to edit the whole video, say, I'll just open the project. Instead of trying to climb the whole mountain, just take one step. Your brain fears huge pressure, but tiny actions feel survivable. And tiny actions become bigger actions naturally. That's the secret. You don't force yourself to finish. You gently trick your brain into beginning, and beginning changes everything. Because once you start, your emotions slowly catch up with your actions. Not instantly, but gradually. And honestly, the people you admire probably don't have superhuman discipline. They just stop negotiating with their feelings every day. They learned something important. Feelings are temporary, but progress compounds. One day of effort feels small, but repeated effort changes your entire identity. One workout doesn't transform your body. One study session doesn't change your future. One video doesn't build a channel. But consistency quietly builds things while nobody notices. And one day, people call you talented without seeing the hundreds of days you worked while unmotivated. That's why discipline matters more than motivation. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is a decision. And small decisions shape your life. Not giant dramatic moments. Just quiet choices repeated over and over again. The choice to start, the choice to continue, the choice to try again after failing. Because failure isn't the real danger. Staying stuck is. And maybe right now, there's something you've been avoiding for weeks, or months, or even years. Something you secretly want to do, but fear keeps delaying. Maybe it's creating content. Maybe it's studying. Maybe it's going to the gym. Maybe it's changing your life. And maybe you're waiting for confidence first, but confidence usually comes after action too, not before. So don't wait to feel fearless. Start while scared. Start while uncertain. Start badly, start tired. Start with shaky hands if you need to. Just start. Because the hardest part of every journey is convincing your brain that change is possible. And once you prove that to yourself, even a little, let your entire life begins shifting quietly. One tiny step at a time. So tonight, Don't focus on finishing everything. Don't focus on perfection. Don't focus on becoming a different person overnight. Just focus on beginning, because future you is watching this version of you very carefully, and they're hoping you finally decide to believe in them.